RipPro C6 is a raster image processing software that is included with every direct-to-garment printer that you purchase from Coldesi. The DTG M2, the DTG M6, whatever you get from us is going to have is going here in RIP only, and that is going to tell me what the price of this garment is going to be in ink. That's the way we have our system set up right now, is just for ink cost. that may not be the graphics person behind everything. So you can just give them a cue for the day, or you can say, you know, I've got these shirts that I want black fast, I've got this one that I want black best, and maybe I've got some white shirts that I want to do because they have the same capabilities. So pre-configured print modes, job costing tools, and real print cues. So you can see the value in this is, let's say you were doing a team job and each team member has a different first name. You wanted to put the first name on the shirts. Then you could have the central graphic in Photoshop or in Illustrator or Corel and just type in the different names and bring in each individual file, and it's one per shirt. And you could go down and do, once again, like we saw before, you could do the entire team right down. But you've got, as you can see, two different prints. PDF file and vector artwork support. So if a customer sends you a PDF, you can bring it right in and print. You've got fluid mask and spot color matching. So the RIP Pro software is incredibly powerful. It's also very simple to use, as you saw. So whether or not you're a beginner or you're a seasoned graphics veteran, having RIP Pro included with the DTG series